Hi, everybody. It's Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and No, Your Eyes Do Not Deceive You. It is a Sunday night, and I'm recording a couple of videos. I already did some a couple of days ago that you'll be seeing. So again, it'll be kind of a group of 3 videos. But for this video, I want to go back to Pam Bondi. Now that I've done her chart and looked at all the degrees and realized just how evil she really is, I'm kind of fascinated with what she's going to do next because she's got to preserve herself, right? She's got to protect herself, but also she's got to do what Dumpy says. And it's very interesting to see how she's going to walk this catwalk because it's very precarious for her, actually. I wanted to come on to do that. And also I got my hair cut and blown out yesterday and I didn't want to waste a good blow up. So here I am. All right. Now, I saw a little short on MS Now, or as Joy Reid calls it, Ms. Now, about the Epstein Transparency Act. And you know that requires that the DOJ releases all of the documents for the Epstein case, all the files, as it were. And I think that would include videos and pictures, photographs, recordings, answering machine, cassette tapes, whatever. They have to release all of that stuff, emails. But I think there's a certain date, and I can't think of the date right now, but when I get it, I'll put it up on the screen so you guys know that I figured it out. But Pam Bondi also mentioned that she was going to open or reopen an investigation into the Epstein case. So everybody said right after the act was passed that they would definitely open up an investigation, and that would thwart the Transparency Act. Basically, it would thwart their ability to release everything because a lot of the topics in that file would be under investigation. Topics or suspects or issues, whatever. They wouldn't be able to release it. And so that's how Pam was going to be able to serve her master. So I want to take a look at that. And I really want to take a look at that. So I'm going to pause my camera while I shuffle. I'll look up the date that the Transparency Act said that everything had to be released, and I'll be right back. Okay, the first thing that I threw on was she going to open a new investigation? And I think the answer is yes, and I think it's not going to come out the way she expected it to come out. So first off, she gets the Ace of Wands, which is a yes card, but also it's her situation. So she probably has already started something or reopened something, which is like bizarre because nobody's hearing anything about it. But the card that crosses it, the current challenge, is the Empress. So is the challenge the Epstein victims and their attorneys, or is it Russia? Interesting. Let's keep going. So at the base of this, we get the Ten of Cups. So there's a feeling here that there's just so much to go through. Tens are endings, yes, but the Ten of Cups is usually a happy thing. And this is indicating just lots of emotions, lots and lots and lots of emotions. And I know that there are a lot of emotions focused on in this file. It's fraught with emotion from the victims, from the people from the predators, from everybody. So very emotional thing. And in the past, they get the Ace of Cups. So in the recent past, so yeah, there's just a tremendous amount of emotion wrapped up in this, and I think this indicates Pam's emotions as well. And as I had said in that reading about her, I really think that she's more twisted up in this than she wants anybody to know. I think that she's a past survivor of the Epstein escapades, as it were. And I don't think she wants anybody to know that. I think she wants people to believe that she is doing Trump's bidding, but also pretty much on the side of the survivors. So. Weird. Anyway, she gets the Eight of Pentacles crowning her, so she believes that she knows enough in the law to be able to finagle this so that it never comes out, obviously. But what's going to happen is that something is going to come out and it's really going to cause her anxiety. Now, here's the other deal, is that so much has already come out aside from an investigation, just on its own, from the estate through Congress, etc., that, how can she stop this? It's like trying to stop the ocean. It's just coming. There's just too much information there. Um, and her whole idea in here is that she doesn't want to be called on the carpet. She doesn't want to be found out, right? So her decision is, if she is called on the carpet and found out, what does she say? Does she say, yes, I was a survivor, or does she deny it? Knowing Pam, she'll deny it, but people are going to see that she's damaged. They're going to understand soon enough that she is what she doesn't want them to know she is. And she's going to try very hard to avoid all of this. This is just her nightmare running away into reality. And it's really going to be bad for her. The final outcome, though, is the emperor. And it's really going to be bad for Trump, too, because he's going to be a key person in this. And how is she going to cover this up without covering up everything? She can't cover up everything because it's too widespread. There's too much information out there, and she just can't cover up everything. So now what I want to read on is, how will this come back on her? Because in Lisa Rubin's little short, she said that she is tasking the New York State AG, Jay Clayton. Who the hell is Jay Clayton, and how's this going to work? So Jay Clayton, who would be running this investigation, actually, he probably wouldn't be doing the actual investigation. He is running the SDNY. So this guy's, he's going to tell his investigators what he does and does not want to come to light. This guy, he's a Wall Street guy. He's all about finances. So if anybody can follow, on paper, he seems like an excellent choice to look at the money trail of the whole Epstein thing and to put it together with the survivors and their stories and figure it all out. The problem is that he is a long-time Trump loyalist. So let's see what's happening with him. What's he going to come to with this investigation? Well, if this guy does go through with the investigation, it's all going to be a big cover-up. It's not going to be truthful. We get the Five of Swords. So he's a bully. He's just going to, say it is what he says it is. It's crossed by the Empress, so there's Russian involvement here. Big-time Russian involvement, just like there is in the other reading. I think the Empress crossed in the other reading, too. At the bottom, he gets the Nine of Swords, so he's not going to be, he's still going to be sweating bullets doing this thing. He's not going to be happy about it. But in the past, he's been able to do things like this. So he gets the Strength card in the past. So in the past, he has been able to manage situations for Dumpy. And he just thinks it's going to be a bowl of cherries. He just thinks it's going to be great and everything's going to be okay. And they're just going to have a great old time covering up this investigation. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Now, what I don't see here that I kind of expected to see was cards indicating delay and obfuscation. I do see the moon. I do have the moon in the future position. However, I thought I would get like a hanged man or something so that we could see that he's just going to drag it out and drag it out and drag it out until it's just not meaningful anymore. But that's not what's going to happen. So we get the moon here. So he is going to succeed in keeping things behind the scenes and in blocking things from coming out. He's going to obfuscate things that should come out. He thinks that he's just got it all, going on. He sees himself as the Three of Cups guy. For all we know, he was involved in the thing, and he enjoyed the parties. Maybe that's what this is indicating. What other people see is that, he's wily, he's shrewd, he's making his plans, he's making sure that his word and his viewpoint about this investigation is what goes out to the people. Just like Bill Barr did with the Mueller papers. or the Mueller report. He really hopes that everything will be just fine and that the women will look like they're the ones who were bringing this on because they were making so much money from it. He's actually going to try to blame the women and just say, well, yeah, they wanted all of this. They were making money like they never could. Half of these girls didn't even graduate high school. So yeah, they loved the money. So he's really a cretin too. The final outcome card is the Four of Wands. Something is being solidified. Something is being stabilized. Either that or this is representing that the report that comes out of this investigation is only going to be seen like by certain people, like in a skiff, in a secured location. That's what that could mean too. I don't think that means that there's a big celebration afterwards. I'm not getting that at all. So, okay. So yes, Pam's going to let him do the report, or the investigation rather. And yes, he's going to obfuscate all of that stuff. And it's going to be kind of a nightmare. He is not a good person. She is not a good person. So this is not going to be very bueno. So let's see, on December 19th, is anything going to come out? And I'm just looking kind of for a yes, no in this. Is a report on the Epstein cases, according to the Epstein Transparency Act, actually going to be released on December 19th? Very interesting. What I get here is that it's such an emotional issue that no matter whether there is a lot released, something released, or nothing released, people will be upset about this. They'll be upset either way because it's such an emotional thing. And for the investigators and the administration and Pam Bondi, it all feels like a betrayal to them. A betrayal to them. They don't care about the victims. They really don't care. So they just feel like it's a betrayal to them. They're all worried about it. They're all going to be super, super, super worried about it because of the implication of the dumpy, implication of other prominent people, so many other prominent people, probably including Jay Clayton. Very sorry, Mr. Clayton. This is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know anything. I'm just a tarot reader on YouTube. You know, everybody involved with this is very, very emotional and upset about the whole thing. They don't want it to come out. They don't want anything, any other information to come out. In the future, what we get is the Chariot. So something has been set in motion. This stuff will come out. Even if it's not with the Transparency Act from the DOJ, lots of things are going to come out with the Chariot. It's a lot. Pam and Jay want to see themselves as the star. They want to see themselves as the hero of all of this. So they're going to have some story about how they're protecting victims or some shit like that. They're going to have some kind of cover story for everything. But the bottom line is that they're going to be ineffectual. I don't usually have reversals, and the Knight of Wands came up reversed here. So even though this is usually a town crier, the person who's telling everything, he's not going to be able to tell the right thing. Something's going to be thwarted. Something's going to be stymied about that communication that comes out to the public. It's just not going to be real or right. And yet they get the sun. Lots of things are revealed. So lots of truth coming out. And I know the way the astrology is right now, it's going to be very hard for them to hold back the truth. The end result is the Five of Wands. There's a great deal of fighting, infighting, external fighting, fighting in the public, fighting in the news. Everybody's fighting about this. So again, super, super, super emotional issue. And this is just, this is not over. And it's just going to be a mess. Just a mess. So I'm going to do one last throw. And I just want to look at where Pam Bondi lands in all of this. What happens with her? What lands for her in all of this? Okay, let me pause the cards and I'm going to do that shuffle. Did I say let me pause the cards? Let me pause my camera and then I'll come back. and I'll have the cards thrown. Oh, man. Okay, I can just say in 2 words basically what's going to happen. No bueno. No good for her. She starts out with 5 of Pentacles. She's out in the cold. She doesn't meet the mark. And as the key person, the star person in this whole endeavor, that's not acceptable to her master. That is just not acceptable at all. In the past, she was able to do things with money, power, greed, status. Somehow, her feminine wiles, somehow she has been able to finagle things around to her benefit, even when she's in the wrong, even when she's made mistakes. And we've seen this play out in the news. She's not very good under pressure, but somehow she manages to manipulate the situation so that she's okay and somebody else takes the fall. Yeah, in the past, she's been a bully. She's just been able to bully things. Right now, she's crowned by the 2 of Wands, so she really feels like that she's going to be able to plan her way out of this. And what happens in the future is the 3 of Wands. So she does get a chance to strategize, plan her future and her next steps, which are probably not going to be very good. I should do a reading about the rest of the administration and go person by person, like Susie Wiles and Stephen Miller and Steve Besant, all those people, and try to get through all of them. But that could take me till, 2027. Her self-image, she really thinks that, she looks good in a Dior suit and she wants to start wearing them again. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if she just doesn't have time to shop, or if she does not have a personal shopper, or she doesn't use one of those online services, but I just don't think she looks that great these days. People just don't think that they can trust her. They see her as a thief. They see her as not trustworthy. They see her as a cheat and a thief, and they just don't see how, she can get away with stuff. And then she also gets the 7 of Pentacles, so she's not really, again, she's not super trustworthy. She knows a few things. She doesn't know everything. Her legal skills are not that great, but, not good. And she ends up with the Hermit. So I think she's either going to have to really lay low, or she's going to be exited out of that position. But then who would take the position? Well, the person who would be most likely to take that position would be Jay Clayton. So you wait, and let's see what happens. Let me just look at a couple of cards here. Yeah. Yep, she's leaving. She's going to be leaving, but you wait. Maybe Jay Clayton's going to be taking her position. Would be likely. Okay, folks, thanks for listening. There's going to be a couple of videos that I put up all at the same time. I hope you enjoy them, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Love you.